Getting set to get started with this pro singles final. Again, on the winner's side of the bracket, we've got Mason Graham out of Indiana. He's on the left side of your screen, and on the right side out of Minneapolis, Minnesota, Jacob Balcos, who's coming from the loser's side and will have to double dip to defend his 2023 title. Here we go.
Jacob buries that push side right off the post there.
A good, patient first possession for Jacob.
And what a showing for Mason Graham this weekend, right?
Yeah, he's still kicking in pro doubles, too, I think.
Yeah, as far as I know. I missed the last match, if there was one.
Yeah, so Mason Graham, of course, holding king seat in pro singles. He's also playing in the loser's bracket final of pro doubles with his partner, Jeff Schneider.
Mason couldn't hold on to the up there. Jacob works quick, 2-5, sticks it up through the lane, and he likes to play fast.
He does. And last night, for those of you that watched, you might remember Jacob got off to a really hot start in the king seat match for this pro singles event, but Mason sort of stuck to his game and battled back and was able to get Jacob in 3 games.
Yeah, he took a beating in that first game. I didn't know if there was any coming back from that beating he took in that first game. We watched it together from up here.
Yeah, we did. I think Jacob got him like 5-1 or something.
But Mason, just like Ben Winnell said, the foosball cyborg, no emotion, not worried about a thing. He knows it's 3 games. And here he is, sitting in the king seat now. Jacob, the defending champion from last year here. He came through in double dip fashion, overcoming Kenneth Dale last year. And goes push side there. 2-0 lead, Jacob Balcos. Mason with that hard chop down. The down is so good. Like, you have to stay on it, and he can hit it so hard and so fast. The up is good too, but he can't hit it so hard and fast. You know what I mean? So
I do.
You have to try and do your best to take that thing away, is what it's looking like.
Do you think that Jacob Balcos is the first player in the history of the IFP Tour to wear a pink wrap and a temporary tattoo on his right arm?
Yeah, he just does not care what you think about him. He's not quite the cyborg Mason Graham is, but he's not worried about what you think about him.
No,
He's a comfortable young man. 17 years old. He doesn't care. He's a boss here already. All right, Mason working the 2-5 from the near wall. And that was a shot there, folks. And he scored that shot on me before, so I know that that's coming. You always got to be mindful of that shot. Jacob will shoot from his 2-5 setup as well.
Mason's doing a good job defensively right now on Jacob. I think he just blocked 2 of his passes from his 5-3 and then another 2 or 3 passes from the 2-5. So, again, I think that's really what set Mason apart in that king seat match last night is defensively he was able to get stops on Jacob, which is a tall task, as we all know.
And 4-wheel drive in full effect there.
You need that 4-wheel drive in Wisconsin this time of year.
Yeah, you do. We did Friday, that's for sure. Yeah, the weather's been crap this weekend. Today's pretty nice, though. Well, the sun's out, but still all wet.
I don't think I've been outside since I got here.
Yeah, it's got to be 40 out there. From where we were, that's good, folks.
The weather is not hot, but Jacob Balcos' 3-bar is. Executes the snake shot to take a 4-1 lead in this first game against Mason Graham. Can't hold on to the pass, but he does get the steal when Mason tries to advance his 2-5. He'll look to close out this first game right off the post.
Yeah, I think so. Sprayed up.
Nice pickup by Jacob, though.
All right, a little reminiscent of the first game in the king seat match, right, Connor?
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah. Events sponsored by Latticrete and Holmes Automotive Recycling. All right, Mason starts out push side. Just clipped it off the post. You heard it. Jacob along the wall. Can he answer? Mason showing a reverse, and Jacob dead bar pull side.
Yeah, a hard hitch to the push. Teddy talked about it last night, but Jacob does a really great job of hitching to one side and executing dead bar both ways. Nice high lane pass into a quick pull snake, and just like that, Jacob Balcos is in control of this first set of the Pro Singles final with a 1-0 lead in games and a 2-1 lead in the score. Mason Graham will look to square it up here. Goes off the wall on the pull side.
Good hard brush down there.
Yeah, you mentioned his brush down on his 5-3 passing, but does that also hold true for his 2-5? Is he as dangerous there as he is on the
same grip
forward?
I would think so.
Mason puts the ball back into play, coming out of a timeout, I believe. He'll have another chance to even up the score in this second game, the first set, and he does so with a really smooth middle. Seemed effortless.
How did he get around that?
That is beyond me. Wow.
Looked like Mason was out there, didn't it?
It did, absolutely.
All right, Mason with that quick uphill off the third man. Just touching three guys real quick.
Nice pull side from Mason Graham, squares it up. Again, we're in the first set of the Pro Singles Final at the 2024 Wisconsin State Championships of Foosball. Jacob Balcos will need to double dip Mason Graham if he wants to defend his title from last year, and he is feeling it right now. He's got that swagger that you mentioned, showing it with a little bit of recoil. And it's a set point for Jacob Balcos.
So fun to watch Jacob Balcos play. Just to watch young people play is great for the future of foosball.
Another smooth middle for Mason Graham, showing excellent patience and great job picking his spots on the 3-bar.
Yeah, he tied it up here. Just no emotion. He's just playing the game.
Nice. Was that
That
the
was
second man into the...
I thought that was the Joe Rhodes pass. The Joe Rhodes high lane.
Yeah, that was nasty.
Yeah, he hits it really hard. His might be better than Joe Rhodes. Sorry, Joe.
Mason digging in defensively, able to get the block on the 5-bar, but it lands in the zone of Jacob Balcos in the goalie. And he'll quickly advance it with his 2-5 series to the 5-bar and call what I believe is his first timeout of this second game.
Sounds right. All right, Jacob puts it into play, goes along the wall. Chance to close out game one.
Wow.
Jeez, and once again, it looked like Mason was there, and maybe he's out too far. Was he out too far?
That's possible. Do you think that it might be that Jacob's hitting it hard enough to go through the men of Mason Graham?
It's possible. And then Jacob gives him a fist bump after game one. He's like, good try. Here's a fist bump. Now, yes, the Pro Singles Final should be next. We will have it here for you, guaranteed. So don't worry about that. Mason's back here, and we're just about ready to get underway. It looks like the guys are happy where they are in regards to on which side of the table. And here we go. Second set, pro singles final, Wisconsin State. And Jacob, of course, the warm player. Mason Graham, not, maybe he didn't even play a match yet today. So there's that to think about also. You know, the hot player coming from the loser side, just played a couple matches, and the guy who won the King's seat has been sitting since yesterday. Maybe he's warmed up a little bit, I'm sure, but yeah. So he's not. It takes a while to get calibrated, you know. All right, Jacob through the lane here, and Mason gets a block there to start this second set. Push side just wide. Jacob looking like he's going to shoot a push shot. Try to dump it off. Winds up on his 5. Sticks it up through the lane. Try to go down the middle. Picked up on the 5 of Mason Graham. Block back into the goal. And picked up here by Mason. Chance to tie it up. Jacob through the standard high lane. Rocking slower. And goes push side. Left hook attempt. Picked up by Jacob. And taken right back by Mason. Squeeze that one along the wall there. And goes down. Back down. And pull side ties it up at 2. Jacob harder rock this time, faster rock. And buries the pull side. Good defense there by Jacob. He had to block it twice. This is set 2 of our pro singles final. Game 1. One final 2 out of 3 to decide your champion here. All right, Jacob through the high lane. Rocking slower this time. And goes pull side. Jacob Balcos takes a timeout here. And you see he's changing the speed of his rock and doing different things. And it's a good idea to do that, I think, because you keep playing with the timing of your defender. So I like the fact that he's doing that. Hey, Maudio, we'll get some labels up for the events and the points and stuff like that after the tournament. So the guys will chop up the videos and then it'll state what event it is and the players' names and stuff. But it's impossible for one person to do that in the booth. Even two people, it's tough. You want the commentators paying attention. Like that needs to be somebody's job. All right, Jacob Balcos closes out game one of the second set. But yeah, the final product will look a little bit better. This is just our weekend stream. All right, Mason goes along the wall. And starts off with a push side effort. Mason on his heels a little bit. Gets a stop here though. And another push side. A 2-0 start here for Mason Graham. That's what Indiana needed. And tight middle there. Jacob cuts the lead in half. Hard tic-tac lane. A little bit slower over rock. And then he threw a little fast hitch in there and took it out to the push side. Great shot, 2-2. Mason goes pull side there. It's a little bounce pass, I think. Here's Jacob, and there goes the ball. Mason with that quick uphill brush. Has to be perfect the next couple of balls, but he can still make a match out of this. Sprays the push side wide. Back to the 2-5. Picked off here. Fast rock this time. And goes out to the push side. All right, championship point here. Jacob Balcos. He's going to take a timeout. All right, Jacob puts it back into play. Sticks it up through the lane. Chance to close out the championship. And that'll do it. Jacob Balcos, your 2024 Wisconsin State Pro Singles Champion. Runner-up, Mason Graham. All right, we'll be back with more soon.